medium is the earth link that allows the other side, the angelic world, to do their job. And a medium will be the link between the two. It will be the link between the two worlds. And sometimes life is very, very complicated when we start looking at the universal laws, Rob. And one of the universal laws is free will. And sometimes, whether people have meant to, whether they haven't, people have invited these entities in. And one of the ways is not using an Ouija board properly. That can actually invite something in. If you happen to use that Ouija board in a place where the energy can connect down deep into the bowels of hell, then you're in a bit of difficulty because you've invited that person in or that entity in.
Have you yourself ever been harmed physically or spiritually by a demonic force?
I have been harmed physically. It's usually if I'm caught off guard. If I'm caught off guard, what will often happen is that I will get knocked to the floor. And I will get knocked backwards, I will get knocked over, I'll get pushed. But usually it's because of the moments that I've lost and that I've let my guard go down. But I certainly feel that I've been made physically ill through my encounters. In my early days, in my encounters, in not understanding the importance of cleansing and making sure that before we leave at the end of the night, that there is nothing on any of us.
To what end does your own religious belief play in the strength that you have when dealing with demonic entities?
I'm a spiritualist, Rob, which is quite fortunate, really, because we believe in the existence of the afterlife, we believe in angels, and so my religion, I'm lucky, supports we know that the existence of the afterlife, we know we can communicate, we know that guides, so I don't have a conflict with my religion and my beliefs and what's been happening to me over the last 15 years.
Do you find, or has it been your experience, that those people with less than a how can I best phrase this, without a practicing portion of a religious philosophy, are more apt to be affected by demonic powers?
I think if you have a strong faith and a strong belief, and you have that strong connection, I think it's much easier to call for assistance, to ask for assistance, to ask the other side to help you, than somebody who hasn't got a strong faith. I think a lot of people, we have a reduction in faith, don't we, in people practicing their religion.
Yes.
That strength helps you. It may not always work, but you've got a better chance if you have that faith.
So how does being a medium relate to banishing ghosts and demons? Like, what's the connection here?
Yeah. Rob, it took me a while to really understand why a medium and why not someone else. As a medium, you can tune in. I can tune in and I can talk to people's parents, loved ones, but at the same time I can also tune in and see the dark entities. I always work with protection. I have to lower my protection to be able to see what it is I'm fighting against. So a medium will be able to I can sometimes physically see, but I can certainly mentally see what that person looks like or that entity looks like that I'm dealing with.
When you're dealing with communicating with those who have passed and have gone to the other side, what do they tell you? What is the other side like? Is it the renditions of heaven that great artists throughout the centuries have painted? Do they socialize with other beings on the other side, or is it basically a very lonely existence?
Oh, it's a very, very beautiful place, Rob. And people will always talk about this utter peace. And they will create the home that they had here. They will often recreate over there with a perfect temperature in a perfect world. Their loved ones, and they will meet up with their mums and their dads. They'll meet up with who they want to. They're not tied to anybody. They're not tied to have to be with somebody because they were married to them down here. And it just sounds always to me like a perfect world, sitting there in complete serenity, in a perfect temperature. and where everything just seems perfection.
How does your understanding of the other side, how does it work with the concept that many believe that we are reincarnated, we come back? Do you get this information from the other side? Do we come back, or is it a one-way trip?
No, I believe that from the information I've had that we do come back, and that we come back,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe that we plan our life before we come down here. Not everything, that's something about it, but there's certain things that we wish to experience, whether it's being rich, whether it's being poor, and there's certain things that we will set out to achieve before we come down here, and that we will come down, and sometimes we don't achieve that, and I think we will have a life where we may repeat the same experience several times just to try to get out of it our growth and our understanding. We're down here to learn. Planet Earth is a learning experience. It's where we learn, where our soul grows. It grows and it evolves.
You and I have to take our news break at the bottom of the hour, Sandrea, please stand by. Exonation, our guest this hour is Sandrea Mosses. Her website is sandreamosses.co.uk. And we'll be talking much more to Sandrea about her book, ghost hunting, demonology, being a psychic, and medium. This is the X Zone, a place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard Monday through Friday from 10 p.m. Eastern until 2 a.m. Eastern. And then the show is repeated in its entirety on the X Zone Broadcast Network and on the all-new DMZ Broadcast Network and our growing family of broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers around the world. Once again, if you'd like to contact Sandrea, her website is sandreamosses.co.uk. And we'll be back on the other side of this commercial break with the news as the X Zone continues. We're right here from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Hi, this is Rob McConnell, just letting you know that the X Chronicles newspaper is now available online at www.xzonebookclub.com. All past editions and current editions of the X Chronicles newspaper are available for 99 cents. That's www.xzonebookclub.com, and that's 99 cents U.S. per edition. And don't forget, the X Zone store is now open as well for all of your X Zone Nation merchandise. www.thexzonestore.com.
Do you have a dis-ease that you would like to alleviate through a natural means? Have you been contacted by angels, ghosts, or even extraterrestrials and want to validate these experiences? Or would you simply like to speak with someone who can help you find your life's purpose? I'm Dr. Joseph Mara, and I'm offering my services free of charge for first-time clients contacting me during the month of April. These free consultations include angel card readings, guided meditations, life coaching, and energy healing. If you have always wanted to explore these types of experiences but were skeptical or simply could not afford them, then take advantage of this free special offer. Contact me through my website, aguidinglight, spelled lite.com, to schedule your consultation today. Until then, I offer you love, light, and laughter.
Sandrea Mosses is my special guest this hour, Exonation. She's the author of Vanquishing Ghosts and Demons. Her website is www.sandreamosses.co.uk. Can you feel evil? Does evil have a feel? Does it have a smell? Does the room temperature really change when evil is present?
Absolutely. There are often many physical symptoms that will show you before you tune in. Obnoxious smells, disgusting smells, like you can't describe. Freezing cold rooms in the hottest summer's day. The room is very dark. You can't understand why it looks so dark. The lights don't seem to be able to penetrate. We did one clearance, and it was a small bedroom. There were 4 of us standing in this small bedroom, and the light was on. It was a 100-watt bulb, quite a decent-sized bulb, and we could barely make out the 2 other people at the bottom of the room. My friend Lynn and I were standing, and we could barely see them. That was so dense was the energy in that property that we could barely see them.
What ultimately happened there? How did you clear that?
The first thing that I always do, Rob, is I never go on my own, and I will never tell the other mediums. I will go with other mediums, and one of them has to be a healer as well. I will not tell them what we're up against. I want them to be able to tell me what's there, and then I know we've got it. When they explain to me what they can see, and that verifies what I know, I then know that we've got it. And I'm guided by my guides. My guides will tell me. My guides will tell me where the doorway should be, what doorway I need to visualise, and what energy we need to push through, especially when it's a demonic force as opposed to a lost soul who just needs nurturing and guiding. We will use our collective energy, our earth energy, and our psychic power to push them through that doorway.
When you look at evil or demonic force, what does it physically look like to you? Is it just a fog? Is it a denseness? Or do you see an actual manifestation of a figure?
I have a video on my website of this one property that we ended up going back to several times with a demon called Jezebel. And a 6-year-old child told me the name of this demon. And when I looked it up, Jezebel does exist. She is a demon. She's a demonic force and from the bowels of hell. And you can see the video in the stairs and watch this black line just appear. And you can feel almost like sick when you see it come down. And she would either form as blackness. The army that she brought with her was shadow men that would walk across the walls. But when she did it, she appeared as a hag, a dreadful hag with grey skin, long, black, straggly hair, eyes, piercing eyes with slits in them, and rotting teeth.
Ugh. Sounds like the typical Halloween witch.
She was a hag. Is the only way you can.
Wow.
The only way you can describe her is a hag. I also have another photograph of a little boy listening to Mum's tummy. Mum's pregnant, so she's listening to his little sister, and suddenly what appears in between him and his mum's tummy is a claw.
Oh my!
It's a 6-fingered claw, and you can see it as plain as anything. The tips of the fingers are pointed, and I've had to block out his face to protect him, but he's actually looking at it. That child, this little boy, is about 5 years old, can actually see it. And the pictures before, he's laughing to his mum's tummy, and then he gets this look, and he's just looking at it.
When you're doing a clearing, or if you're doing an exorcism, if you're fighting up against evil or a demonic force, would religious artifacts or religious statues help? For example, would a crucifix help? Would holy water help?
I don't.
You're a spiritualist, so you don't.
As a matter of fact, I always wear a crucifix.
Oh, really?
Yes, I do. Yes, I believe in the power of the cross. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. I believe in Christ. I believe in the power of the cross. So when I do wear, those, and I think I wouldn't use them as a tool when I'm trying to work. Mm-hmm. But I think for people who have been attacked, that's something to hold on to, and that's something to push your power through to try to knock it away from you is often very, very useful.
Tell me about your most riveting case that you've worked on. The one that, to this very day, has held no candle